Let me turn on the magic lamp here because it is Schmalzler season and it's time to take a look at another one. This is the Schmalzler A Brasil from Poschl. You can see I kind of wrecked the bag a little bit. Just a little bit. But that's okay because I've decanted it into this glass jar with a tight fitting lid. And since it's a 100-gram bag, not a bad idea. This is just Schmalzler, plain and simple. There's no added flavors, no added goop. It is not nearly as sweet, for instance, as their Südfrucht or their Doppelaroma. I'm going to dig out a snuff spoon of one kind or another here. Yeah, that'll work. Get into this jar here. Now, it is, of course, a dark, fermented-looking tobacco. Let me stir it up in the jar a little bit because I really kind of had to pack it in here. Let's take a look. Yeah, you smell just a little bit of that sort of fermenty tobacco smell. Boy, that's just jammed. Now, with a Schmalzler like this one, I'm not going to be able to sniff it. It is very oily and very heavy. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to pick my nose in reverse. Yes, I know this will be slightly disgusting. Bear with me. Finger right to the nostril. By the way, my hands are very clean. Just got out of the shower and used a little hand sanitizer besides. So here we go. Super clean. All right, there we go, up the nose. A mild burn, but nothing really. Just a very mild burn as it goes into my nose. Now this, of course, will feel cloggy when you take it because it is very moist and it is very coarse. But this is a fabulous product. Now you get just basically the Brasil tobacco, slightly fermented, which gives it a bit of a fruity edge to it. Some people say a dark chocolate edge. Not so much for me. It is nice. Yeah, it's very nice. Now, as you leave it in your nose, you almost get kind of a vanilla and maybe a little bit of anise. I want to say anise rather than licorice or absinthe. But it's that kind of an edge, but it's real slight. You have to really work to find it. Yeah, mostly I'm just getting the fermented Brasil tobacco scent with overtones of vanilla and what I can presume is anise. But the anise is way an afterthought. Now, I have to be very careful when I describe the nicotine because my nicotine level is fairly high. My tolerance is high. And if I say this is a 5 on a scale where 1 is nothing and 10 is way too much, I know that there will be some viewers that will write, what do you mean it's a 5? I took one little pinch and my ears are ringing and I fell on the floor. Whereas other, more experienced snuff takers with higher tolerances than even I have will say, what do you mean a 5, you pussy? That's a 2. But for me, on a scale of 1 to 10, again, where 1 is nothing and 10 is too much, this is a 5. It's dead center. But you could use a lot of this, so be careful because it might build up your nicotine level. Now, it is not uncomfortable in the nose, but you certainly know it's there. You have to work a little to inhale air across it to liberate those flavors up in your nose. Fortunately, when you blow this out, it blows out completely and very cleanly. But it is messy to use, and it might be one that you just, hide in the basement and use as I'm doing right now. On the squinty scale, where 1 is dead, god dang, and 5 is, I'm in love. For me, this is a 5. But I love my Schmalzlers, and Poschl and Bernard's both do them very well. Now, this is a huge bag, as I said. It's a 100-gram bag I got from Mr. Snuff. And that's why when you get these, make sure you've got a good, tightly sealed, hopefully light-resistant jar like this one, where you can just pack it in and save it. Now, this does work. I found a jar of a 100-gram packet of the Sternecker Echt Fresco, Brazil Echt Fresco, I think it's called. And it's like 8 years old, and it's perfectly fine to sniff. It's lost very little moisture. Of course, I did refrigerate it. So 2 steps in saving your big bag of Schmalzler. Put it in a lid, a tightly lidded jar, I should say, and then refrigerate it until you're ready to use it the next time. Now remember, when you take any snuff out of the fridge, let it sit for a few minutes to get to room temperature before you open it. That way you don't get room condensation on your snuff. So, 5 out of 5 on the Squinty scale, registered trademark, and 5 out of 10 in nicotine. This is the Poschl Schmalzler Brasil A from the Dank Basement. I am your Uncle Squinty. I do appreciate the views, the likes, the subscriptions, and of course, your comments. Write to me if you need to off channel, unclesquinty@gmail.com. This isn't German music.